How much house can you actually afford? This is math over status. Cold numbers, zero hype. You sit at a desk with a loan officer, slide a folder across the table, and wait for the verdict. 10 minutes later, they slide a single piece of paper back to you with a golden number, pre-approved for $500,000. In that exact moment, a psychological switch flips. You stop looking at starter homes and start browsing modern architectural builds. You assume the bank has done the complex math, looked at your income, and certified that spending $500,000 on a house is a safe, rational choice. You assume that if you can make the monthly payment, you can comfortably afford the home. You are walking straight into a financial trap. The bank didn't calculate what you can comfortably afford. They calculated the absolute maximum amount of debt you can survive without defaulting before they lock in their 30-year interest extraction. To understand the real cost of homeownership, you have to strip away the real estate marketing and look at the raw equation. The modern housing market hides behind three structural illusions. Trap number 1, the bank approval illusion. Lenders use a blunt instrument called the debt-to-income, or DTI ratio. They don't care about your future retirement contributions, your children's education, or whether a sudden economic downturn will squeeze your cash flow. If your gross income hits their threshold, they greenlight the maximum exposure. They are betting on the historical trend that people will starve themselves, cut out vacations, and drain their savings accounts before they let a house go into foreclosure. Your maximum bank approval is not a budget. It is a ceiling on how much debt a financial institution is willing to risk on your behalf. Trap number 2, the fixed payment fallacy. When you buy a $500,000 house with a 10% down payment, you aren't just paying for walls and a roof. Let's look at the actual math. Take a $450,000 mortgage at a standard 6.8% interest rate across 30 years. Your monthly principal and interest payments sits right at $2,935. That already feels heavy, but it is only the baseline entry fee. Trap number 3, the nonlinear maintenance curve. Houses do not bleed money at a flat rate. They drain your liquidity in sudden, violent spikes. Property taxes on a $500,000 asset average roughly 1.2% annually, adding another $500 a month straight out of your pocket. Homeowners insurance adds $150. If you have an HOA, tack on another $250. Before you factor in a single utility bill, your baseline monthly commitment is already over $3,800. Then comes the physical reality of the asset. Unlike corporate bonds or index funds, physical real estate requires constant, expensive capital injections to prevent decay. Standard financial guidance dictates setting aside 1 to 2% of the home's value every year for maintenance. On a $500,000 property, that is $400 to $800 a month reserved strictly for roof replacements, HVAC failures, plumbing leaks, and foundation settling. Who actually wins in this transaction? Trace the capital. The real estate agent collects a 5 to 6% commission paid up front on the total transaction value. The municipality collects permanent property taxes regardless of your personal financial health. But the true victor is the mortgage originator and the secondary bond market, which bundle your 30-year debt obligation into securitized products, locking in hundreds of thousands of dollars in guaranteed interest before you ever pay off the principal. Let's run a complete 5-year worked example to see the bottom line reality. You buy a $500,000 home with $50,000 down. Over 60 months, you pay roughly $360,000 in total monthly payments, of which the vast majority goes straight to bank interest rather than equity. You spend $30,000 on mandatory property taxes and insurance, and another $20,000 on essential maintenance and repairs. Your total cash out of pocket over 5 years crosses $410,000. At the end of those 60 months, you decide to sell. Due to transaction costs, realtor fees, and market fluctuations, your home's value has risen modestly to $530,000. After paying off your remaining loan balance and closing costs, your net return after pouring over $400,000 in liquid cash through the property is minimal. And when adjusted for inflation and the opportunity cost of what that cash could have earned in a high-yield index fund, your real wealth has stagnated or declined. That is the reality behind the housing market. The next time a bank hands you a pre-approval letter for $500,000, don't look at it as a token of your financial success. Remember that a house is not just a place to live, it is a high fixed cost asset designed to absorb your liquid cash flow for 3 decades. Stop trading your financial flexibility accountability for square footage. If you value real financial data over societal illusion, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is Math over Status. See you in the next breakdown.